Yes, people, welcome back to another stream. It's not great news, to be honest with you, people. It's not great news. I cannot believe this. I cannot believe this one little bit. First of all, make sure you're smashing the likes. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel. We're 900 subscribers away from 20K. But, yeah, a stream that I really didn't want to do. But now it's all over Twitter. It's all over X platform. It's come from a decent source, come from a couple of sources. It is currently unconfirmed by any journalist, which is the only sort of positive news that we can hope that this is incorrect information. But the latest news and the latest rumours flying around at the moment is that Oscar Bobb has suffered a leg break. We don't know how bad the leg break is. We don't know if it's a clean break. We don't know. We don't know anything at this moment in time. And I'm hoping and praying that this is not correct news. But to be honest with you, the sources that have told me this earlier on today is a very good source. I've been told by a separate person as well. City have not denied this as of yet. If you think back to yesterday, when City were linked with Luis Diaz, within 15 minutes, City briefed the journalists to tell everybody that it was fake news. You had Sam Lee come out within 15 minutes. He's obviously got information from the football club, and he told everyone that it was fake news. This has been going on now for over an hour, and we've not had anything to confirm that this is not true. So, listen, I'm hoping that this is not true. I'm hoping that this is fake, or that it's not as bad as anyone thinks. But yeah, it's not looking good, guys. Oscar Bobb, rumoured to have suffered a leg break, lads. Yeah, just get your take on this, Martin. I'll come to you first of all, bro.
Yeah, well, I'm gutted for him. I am gutted. I got told a couple of hours ago about it. I just feel for him because you could tell it was going to be his season. You could tell he was going to coming out of the Community Shield. He looked really positive. Pep talks glowing about him. It's just sad. It's just sad, you know, that he's gonna have to wait now, get fit again. Like you said, openly, it's a clean break because they do heal quicker, and it's not one of these really dodgy, fine, you know, floating bone jobs or fractures. That is something we don't know to what extent it is at the moment, but yeah, obviously, whether I'm praying he doesn't need an op. I think that's the worst case scenario, that he's needing some sort of operation on it. So that's why we're saying it's a clean break. It can just go into a boot and heal up. But yeah, I'm really gutted for him. I really am, because there was a lot of fans looking forward to seeing him this season.
So, what's your initial reaction to this, bro? I mean, we was meant to be predicting the table today, and unfortunately, we've got to do this. I'm still hoping to I'm going to keep this on the screen at the bottom. I'll read the super chats out on that, but then when the super chats have been read, I'm going to put this back on screen just because I want to make it clear that this is currently unconfirmed by any Jack Gorn, Sam Lee, David Ornsteins. This is sources. Two sources have told me this is true. I've got 1/3 source who has serious contacts with the club, who is now trying, because he's been busy all day, he's not seeing it, he's now contacting the people and going to let me know. But at the moment, I'm just going to leave this on screen just because I want people to be aware that this is currently still just a rumour. I've got to say the sources are still pretty good, but until Jack Gorn, until Sam Lee confirms it, I've got my fingers crossed that this is fake news. Sorry, Si, what was you saying, mate?
Nice. It's very depressing. Like, I was hyped for the season. Martin know how high I rate up and what season I think he was going to have. I feel it's a bit of a typical City moment. Like, have this possible star player, like going into his maybe breakout season, and then a possible leg break. I mean, it's so depressing, bro. It takes all the excitement out of it at the moment for me. Yeah, I don't know what to say. It's depressing, man. Yeah, on crutches. Yeah, I saw Big Steve also said, kind of confirmed that it was a bad injury.
Try go on, side.
No, yeah, I have no more, bro. I'm speechless.
No, the one thing I don't want to do is what I've seen so far is this. I've seen it. I've even seen it in some of my private chats. You know, who's to blame? Is it Phillips? Is it this guy's? This isn't about blame game. Accidents happen in training. Can we not do this blame game or wish it was someone else who was injured? We're not that fan base. Come on. We're not that kind of fan base who wished it was somebody else. I understand we're all gutted about it. But come on, let's not go to the lowest depths of wishing it was other players or whose fault it was. It's not about that.
Yeah, FPL Main Road guys, they put out a tweet today saying Oscar Bobb was seen on crutches. And for those people that don't know, this is probably one of the most reliable sources when it comes to City news, especially if you want team news before games, 2 hours, 3 hours before games. This guy will tweet it out. And he's pretty much got 100% accuracy when it comes to this sort of stuff. So again, you know, it's something's happened and City haven't confirmed it. And again, I have to say this, yesterday when the news was going around with Luis Diaz, Manchester City came out within 15 minutes, briefed the journalists, and the news was basically killed. This obviously has been out now for over an hour, and we've not heard anything from any journalists or the football club. I can only imagine that maybe they don't know if it's a leg break. They're not sure what's happened, and they're going to wait for tests before confirming exactly what's happened. I would imagine that's the case. But yeah, man, this is just, I can't believe it, man. Like, it's just, fucking hell. I just cannot believe that the best player in pre-season, a player that for me was going to be starting at the weekend against Chelsea and had the whole season ahead of him to like cook, as this has happened to. I mean, it's just, you almost just can't write this stuff, man. You know, the world can be an evil place at time. Yeah, the world can be an evil place at time. And let me just whack that back up on screen, because again, I just want to say it's unconfirmed now. Erasmus apparently saying there's people on the Blue Moon forum saying it's an ankle injury, not a leg break. Well, I'm hoping that's true. I'm hoping. I know ankle injuries can still be pretty bad. Yeah, I know they can still be pretty bad, but I mean, I imagine it's better than a leg break. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but it sounds like an ankle problem is better than snapping your leg. So I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just fucking, I cannot believe this has happened, bro. I cannot believe that this has happened. It's insane. It really, really is. Let me see what some of you guys are saying in the live chat, man. See Heaven says, if he's on crutches, it can be hella bad. Hopefully he'd be at home or in Aussie. What's Aussie? Hospital. Is that hospital?
Presume it means hospital.
Yeah.
I see. I don't know. If you're on crutches and you've broken your leg, would you already have it in a protective boot, or how do you treat a broken leg? Would you be able to hop around on crutches with a broken leg? Because I've broken my nose, and even the smallest movement would hurt a lot in the beginning. So if he's on crutches with a broken leg and he's hopping around, kind of having movement in his leg, he would be in a wheelchair in my mind if it was a broken leg, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. To be honest with you, I don't know. I've never broken my leg. I've never broken a bone in my body, so I have no idea.
We need a doctor on here.
We need a doctor, man. We need a doctor, bro.
So it depends, because I snapped my calf tendon. I had in my calf muscle, I had a 6-inch tear in my calf, and they put me in a protective boot that hour when I was in hospital. So I suppose it depends. I think sometimes it depends what hospitals you go to or where you go with it. It is that weird. I don't know, because other people have broke the leg and they go into a cast. Others go in boots.
Surely City would have like doctors and stuff at the training ground. So like, I imagine that if he did, like, they'd treat him there. Like, surely at that academy, like, you seen how much money they've got into it. Like, you see how big it is. And, like, they have medical rooms and that. Like, do you think they have the facilities to like, I don't know, put him in a cast and that? I don't know.
It depends, because they still go to Barcelona, don't they, LB? To see Kugat and all that. So I suppose it depends, A, the type of injury, B, the type of how long it is. I mean, the only news we got so far is that it seems to be long term. It's quite a serious one. That's what, and I've heard that from now 4 or 5 different people. Wasn't just one. I'll be honest, I know people saying Big Steve, but I didn't even hear it from Big Steve. I got it before Big Steve. And even before, no, not before him, but I'd heard it before and even knew Big Steve had gone live with it. I'd already heard it. So, and I know Tone and others had already heard it, because obviously we all speak to each other. So people kind of knew. I know someone who works at the club who knew about it earlier. So I don't know, but they don't work in the club, if you know what I mean. They work for the club, but they're not in the club. Not in the training part.
Yeah, no, this is a very good point from Pardo. We had these types of rumours with Kovacic last year. Rumour he'd done his ACL. It was all rumours and it wasn't true. That's a very good point, bro. And this is why, again, I want to just leave this sort of message on the screen that, we've not had official confirmation from any journalist or Manchester City yet. Something's happened, right? Let's obviously be honest. Like, something's happened. Otherwise, they would have come out and said this ain't true. Like, it's all speculation, all wrong. Like, if he was fine, or Oscar Bobb would have tweeted or put something on his Instagram saying, "What you guys chatting about? I'm fine, innit?" But so something's happened. I reckon he suffered an injury which is quite bad, but they're not sure what it is. And at the moment, it's probably just speculation. And they don't fully know. Let me just play the clip, man, from Steve earlier on. This is what he said.
Yes, people. I just heard that he's injured, Oscar. It's a bad one, apparently. Could be a leg break. Apparently, he's going to Barcelona or somewhere tomorrow to sort it out. That's what I've heard from someone that I know. But wait till it breaks. So instead of everyone messaging me, that's what I've heard. So if he has done that, then I'm absolutely gutted for the kid because he's been absolutely brilliant. But I'm sure it'll break soon. But apparently it was a collision or something in training.
Oh, that's what he said. And then this is what's currently going round on a different website, which is the Blue Moon Forum. Not a leg break, thankfully, but a bad ankle injury. That's all I know. I don't know, man. Because obviously,
what would he be going to Barcelona for then?
Well, like Kugat, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you only go to Kugat on surgery.
Well, yeah, but he might. Yeah, but you know. But what about if they don't know? What about if they're sending him there for scans first?
No, but the thing is, it's like you look. You only go to Kugat if it's quite a serious or long-term one. It needs an op.
Well, yeah, but
you don't tend to go straight to Kugat. Do
you not think this?
No, that's what I'm saying. So, I mean, if people are saying ankle, well, then you're into the ankle ligament issues.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, because they have got stuff on site, LB. They have got a very good medical facility on site. I don't. If it's already planned, he's off to Barcelona tomorrow, is what Steve's saying. But it doesn't sound like it's that sounds like it's potential surgery, sadly. That's my point I'm making is.
Yeah, we got some more news. This is a esteemed company, obviously a fellow YouTuber, said just heard from someone reliable that it's an ankle injury and likely around 3 months. That sounds a lot better, to be honest, than a fucking broken leg. Yeah, I don't know, man. Broken leg sounds a bit like, I don't know, but obviously I'm not a doctor and I've never had a broken leg, so I don't know. But for me, just as like a normal guy, like it doesn't seem like you break your leg and then just leave on crutches.
I have, and it's.
What happened to you then?
I was playing footy and broke my femur, like fractured my tibia and fibula, and you can't put weight on it at all.
But did you go crutches or wheelchair?
I went crutches.
Oh fuck! Hope you said wheelchair.
But the crutches will stop your weight, weight there.
So you just push off them rather than like. Luckily, it wasn't too serious. I think it was just like a hairline, so it wasn't like surgery or anything required. But it still hurts. But yeah, broken leg can be like up to a year, depending on the stress of the fracture or break. Depends if it's both kind of the tibia and fibula. There's all sorts. I've seen horror tackles where like my mates snapped them both clean in half. Didn't play for about 2 years. Never played again. Kind of thing. But if it's more ankle, thankfully I learned a lot about this in college and stuff when I was doing it all. But if it's more ankle, then it depends on where on the ankle. Like Martin said, the ligaments. But if it's a leg break, then yeah, you're not seeing him for a while.
Yeah.
In terms of like recovery as well. But ankle depends. Sorry to interrupt you, but it depends more on kind of the level of the grading of his ankle injury.
Yeah, a lot of the rumors that are now flying around is that they reckon it's not a leg break and it's an ankle injury, which I don't know. It seems like to me that seems more likely given the fact that he's in a crutch. But I don't know because obviously I'm not a fucking doctor, you know what I mean? I'm just literally just speculating here, guys. And obviously I'm hoping that it is. I'm obviously there's some bias here because I'm hoping that it is a.
Couldn't happen. I know you don't want it to happen to anyone in the squad. Like I've just said, that's why I'm late. I was pre-recording something for somebody, but anybody in the squad, you don't want it to happen to. But it couldn't have happened to a player that we were just speaking about him last night, saying that it was going to be his breakthrough season, and you know it couldn't have happened to a player we were more excited to see, which is fucking typical for City, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Facts. Let me just read some of these chats out. Big up AK says, I'm at the beach and this pops up on my notifications. Time to step it up, Kyle. What's up, Martin? Says AK with the super chat, man. Big up to you, AK. Enjoy the beach, bro. Yeah. And the only good news is that it's more and more people are saying it's not a leg break and it's an ankle injury, which is obviously much, much better. And fingers crossed that it's not a leg break. LB says Bobb, Rodri, Grealish already injured before the season even starts, says LB with the 2. Yeah, I mean, there are a couple of injuries. I mean, to be fair, Jack Grealish is meant to be back by the end of the season. So, you know, that is before the end of the season. Before
I was just about to say it, yeah.
I was going to say end of the season. How long's he out for?
Yeah, before
What's he done?
Chelsea. Rodri's been back today, I believe. He's been back in training. So that's obviously positive. I doubt he'll be playing for the game against Chelsea, but he'll be back for the Ipswich game. So,
we could be without both Grealish and Bobb for the Chelsea game, which was probably the 2 players we all thought would start that game.
Doku and Savio now.
The 2 wingers from pre-season. Had full pre-season, yeah.
But that's
if this isn't an incentive for City to get into the market now, then I don't know what is. Because you know, if you play Bernardo on the right, then you do need to bring someone in midfield, or if you're going to go direct replacement, you know, for Bobb, we'll see. But if they're complacent now, then there's some concerns. But,
this should cheap the balancing thing.
Yeah, the scale,
of course. Scale. Yeah, exactly. Moving into the transfer market, get something done. Well, not something. That's wrong. Because not another Nunes, of course.
Who knows? It could be Luis Diaz.
To me, I'm not even thinking the market situation. Because the news I had, we were going in the market anyway. Whether this happened with Bobb or not, I'm just hoping Bobb comes back really quickly, or as quickly as possible. I mean, we'll know more in the next 48, 72 hours. Because listen, say now, if he's flying to Barcelona, it's not a 2-month thing. Not just nipping over to Barcelona for 2 months. For a 2 month.
We'll probably find out tomorrow in Pep's press conference. I'm sure it'll be asked. Someone will ask it.
Yeah, my personal opinions here is that they don't know. They don't know what's the extent of the situation. Hence why they've not said anything. It's kind of mad, isn't it? Because in this sort of situation, everyone on Twitter right now is just discussing it. Everyone's putting out tweets now saying like, "Yo, City, what's going on? Like, you releasing all these pictures of other players. What's going on with Bobb?" And they just stay silent. And it's kind of like, do you think the club have a responsibility to sort of put out a message to say, yeah, like there is obviously he has suffered an injury, but the extent is currently unknown? Or do you reckon like they're right?
I think that's where that comes tomorrow. Friday, sorry. I keep thinking it's like, I think, you know, if we're going to be a club where they put out every injury via social media.
Oh, breaking news. It's here, guys. Oscar Bobb, this is from Jack Gorn. Oscar Bobb has fractured a bone in his leg and set for a prolonged spell on the sidelines, yet to be fully assessed.
So he has broke it. It's not ankle.
fractured bone, and isn't that meant to
Oh,
be
no.
worse as well?
Yeah.
So that's now explains why he's off to Barcelona. He's off to get it operated on.
Yeah.
That's an operation.
Okay, now.
So, do you know what we got to do is just wish him all the best. Because listen, do you know why City won't be doing it a lot is because this is what we've got to remember. Have you ever noticed? Remember the Kanji's injury last season? Do you remember when he got that? Was it an impact injury? And nobody knew what was. And do you remember we went about a week and we heard nothing. We kept saying, "When's he coming back? When's he coming back?" Because I asked someone and they said, "Problem is, they have to wait for swelling to come down to do scans." Because if there's a lot of swelling, for example, or it flares up, that's blood and everything else that's all around the area. You can't scan
like
them a lot
bruising
because
as well,
you're just going to get blood. You're just going to get bruising and blood showing up. So they let it settle for a day or two. I know that sounds mad, but I know this because my cousin's a doctor. They let it settle for a day or two, and then they can scan. They can't always scan straight away. And I think that's why City wait a little bit just to see if the swelling goes down. But I mean, obviously, that's a leg break, and that's. I'll be honest with you. Personally, I would have preferred a clean break than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what they often say, innit? I mean, I don't know if this is like the legit thing. Obviously, again, I'm not a doctor. I'm literally just finding out this is you saying, but this is a National Library of Medicine from the US, like Medicine Association, and they're saying if he's got a break to the tibia fibula, then it is a full return to training after 7.5 months. Completed the first 90 minutes after 9 months, and after 11 months, you're then considered injury free. So if this is the same injury, this is a tibia fibula injury. If he's done that, then basically he's missing the season.
You need to then find out whether it is both, because if it is your tibia and fibula, then you're not putting weight on that for at least 6-7 months.
So that's why he's on crutches right now.
Yeah,
they're basically not letting him wait there.
Yeah, because if it's something like a hairline fracture as well, not to go into it too deep, then you just need to assess and see what actually is wrong. Because if it's like Martin said, you'd prefer a clean leg break because then you can kind of get in there quickly. But yeah, if it's a fracture, but it doesn't say bones, thankfully, so it could just be a tibia or fibula. But
I guess
I know everyone's being pedantic on that. If it was ankle, they would have said ankle.
Yeah.
No, it's not ankle. It's clearly.
Yeah, they wouldn't have said leg. I know, because some are going leg. That could mean anything. They would have said ankle if it was ankle. Yeah, that's specific.
No. The news about his ankle is now clearly fake. It's not his ankle because Jack Gordon and Fabrizio have just confirmed he's broke a bone in his leg. So it's not an ankle injury. It's a broken bone in his leg, which was the original.
So the original what we were hearing is correct. He's gone.
Sounds like done for the season.
No, it's so depressing, guys.
No, it is. I agree. I totally
so high hope for this guy. I had him in my FPL. I have to do.
See, that's why I didn't do it. Like you told me last
night. Simon Bajowski's tweeted LB. I don't know if you want to put that up.
Let me find that. Oh yeah,
Simon Bajow from the MUEN.
Yeah, they're obviously all being briefed now, aren't they, by the football club?
That's come from the club now. The club have briefed that now.
Of course it has. This is what I'm saying. Like the club end up briefing it. You know what I mean? Oscar Bobb has fractured a bone in his leg. Extent of the injury won't be known until it has been fully assessed. So, I don't know. Listen, is there anyone in the chat? I'm literally just asking the chat because I'm trying to get information. Is there anybody in the chat that can tell us what the best case scenario is? If he's broke a bone in his leg, for example, what's the best bone to break in your leg that means he'll be back the quickest? And can anyone in the chat tell us the worst case scenario? Hopefully we might have some NHS doctors or doctors from around the world that can give us some
I think the worst case scenario is the fracture of the tibia and fibula.
That was the one that was shown on the screen. So basically that means it's the whole season.
But I think the best case scenario is kind of, see, I did anatomy and stuff in college. It's a long time ago, but I still retained a lot of it. But I think if it's one or the other, because obviously both, so how it works in your leg is kind of both come around each other like that.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So then obviously with that, obviously you have kind of like, that's why I'm saying if you break both, then you're not bearing weight on it at all, because both of them support the kind of connection with your ligaments and tendons into your ankle. But I think best case scenario, you're probably looking at around like 4 months if it's kind of like a hairline fracture.
I'm cringing at that tweet. Look at the last bit, non-contact. That means his leg's gone one way and his body's gone another way.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Is that what it means, non-contact?
Yeah.
Yeah, that means nobody's touched him. Ow.
That means his
I
ankle's
just got
gone.
visions in my head how his body's gone with that.
His ankle's gone and his leg's just gone with it.
What, do we think
Like
that's a good
inwards.
thing then, or a bad thing?
No.
That's not a good thing, Gemma.
No. That's basically like your leg. So if you imagine like your arm, like here is your leg.
Yeah.
Your ankle's gone like one way and your leg's kind of just crushed in itself.
Fuck's sake.
Or
man.
to basically like someone, you could have a stud who's caught in the ground. So your foot's gone there.
Yeah, you've jerked.
Now, as you're turning, your foot generally comes up and goes with it. Your stud stayed in the ground, your body's turned, your foot hasn't, and all the weight's gone back to that foot. And obviously, it can't take that way, and it's
That
gone.
could end
Yeah.
his career,
You've-
couldn't it? Like that could be like an injury that ends a player's.
And I'm telling you now, if he's going to Barcelona, which that's an up. He's going for an up.
Yeah. Fuck's sake,
Wow,
man. I can't
it's
believe that.
insane,
That's
man.
unreal. That's
Bad
actually
luck.
unreal how that
Like
happened.
when I seen one of the lads at footy try to control it with his thigh, and someone's just put their boot through his like actual leg, and that's just gone like that way.
No, but the thing with this way,
Mad that.
Dr. Cougar is the guy who will sort him. So he's going to come back. He'll come back 100%. There's a reason we trust Dr. Cougar. And we're just going to wish him all the best. Let's not do this, rush him back. Let's get him back. Just let him go with what he needs to do. And the club will do what they need to do.
He's
in the next 2
fortunate
weeks.
in regards with the injury. He's still young.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm about to say that. He's a young
Like
he's still,
if
his
he's
body's
like
growing.
20, yeah, if he's like 25, 26, and his body's developed, this could be an injury, like a career-threatening injury. But thankfully, because he's still developing, you know, if they can get into it early, then the recovery will be a lot easier than say somebody who's fully developed, because that can, but it can also go the other way. But I won't worry you too much.
Yeah, man, it's
I've
crazy.
seen
Yeah.
Trinity put there, if it's his femur, that's like the top leg. That's like the thigh bone rather than the tibia and fibula. Which,
Yeah, but surely if it's a non-contact injury, then it's the lower part of his leg, isn't it? Surely.
yeah.
How are you? I'm not being funny, but how are you breaking your bone in the top half of your leg if it's a non-contact injury?
I don't know. I would stand up and try and show you, but I'll end up probably doing it.
Nah, surely it's the lower
Yeah,
part
you don't
of
want to
his
see.
leg.
You don't want to see Luke. Basically, it sounds like he's pirouetted around. He's pirouetted around, and his body's not gone with it.
Oh my!
So you know, like the move that he did. I'm trying to use an example. So you know, like the build-up to United goal, where he knocked the ball around and he moved the body, and he moved his body around the fullback.
His leg, basically, his leg hasn't gone with his body.
Yeah, his leg hasn't gone with
stuck
it.
in the
His leg
same place.
stayed in the ground, and he's gone around, and his leg ain't gone around with him. I'm trying to give exactly. It's a weird one because that's it. I mean, at the moment we are guessing, but we're trying to think with that non-contact thing. There's only. It's just sad. It's just sad. There's nothing you can do. But listen, I said he'll go to Cougar. He's in the best place, and he'll be sorted out straight away. And now it's just a clean and quick recovery, or however long the recovery takes for him.
Check this out from Luck. Says, I'm a doctor, not working in trauma care, but I can't imagine letting a patient with a tibia fibula fracture walk, even on crutches. That would risk nerve and artery damage, in my opinion. So that's what this
Doesn't
that's what
seem as bad as we're thinking then. Because if he's
hopefully,
able to
hopefully
walk,
then it is just a 3 months one. Because you know what's funny is, not funny, but what people are saying is, it's interesting how though some people said it's an ankle injury 3 months. I wonder if the break to his leg is right at the bottom
at the
of his
base,
leg,
yeah.
near his ankle, which is why some people have been told it's an ankle injury. and that they've been told they reckon it's going to be 3 months. I reckon if he's broke it like really far down at the bottom, so like some people said it was an ankle, but it's not really, it's a leg. And then they're saying, yeah, they reckon it's 3 months.
Like your shin area,
Well,
kind of.
Didn't Bajowski and others say long term?
No, I don't think
3
anyone's
months
put
classed as long
long term.
term.
No, they didn't say.
But one of them put long
Jack
term.
Gaughan's put prolonged.
Prolonged.
So,
See, 3 months isn't really a prolonged.
but prolonged is very
Depends what you
kind
class
of.
it.
Nah, I'd still class I'd class 3 months as prolonged, bro. It's a third of the season.
Yeah, prolonged
Well,
can
it's
be
not
very
because you've
kind
got a lot
of
of your international
dubious.
breaks. You've
No,
got
but like
international
prolonged.
breaks in this first part.
But your month is your season is what, like 9 months long?
Well, it depends because you've only got 2 games in August.
Yeah, no, but
So-
you talk about like the actual calendar, like is going to be.
Yeah, no. I'm talking about the majority of games. In the first, it was 3 months.
People
Then the
lose
first 3
11
months of the season
11
is
Premier
better
League.
than the last 3 months of the season. If you get
So
what
I'm going to
saying.
be a Susie Dent here of Countdown. Prolonged, continuing for a long time, or longer than usual. Lengthy.
That's what I'm saying. 3 months is not.
That's not what my ex
Right.
told me, but
Yeah. I don't know.
So if LB's act, if LB's missus, well, we've been together 3 months. We've been together a prolonged time. Let's get married. You'd be like, it's been 3 months, love. Stop.
Oh my days. Yeah,
is
guys.
that,
By the
is that a
way,
hint for you to tell LB to put a ring on it? Is that what you're trying to tell him there?
No, whoa. No,
No, I'm joking.
yeah,
I'm not advocating for.
I'm on this with Nabil, man. Big up Nabil from City Report says the brief is that it was a no contact injury, different from what a lot of us have heard. Will be difficult to know the truth there, but a no contact fracture does seem more repairable if that's true. Yeah, I honestly, man, I think reading what everyone's saying and putting the jigsaw together, I think he's broke a bone lower in his leg, close to his ankle, which is why some people have been told it's his ankle. And
do you think it's more though people are getting this report as kind of more not damage control, but like expect the worst kind of scenario?
Well, I don't know, man, because only doctors know what this all means. I don't know what it means. We don't understand what this all means.
Yeah, of course.
So
but, I mean, more. Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
To me, I'm just one of them. Let him come back when he needs to come back.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, obviously you can't be rushing him back, man. Like, what's the point in that?
So are we thinking Rodrigo and Bruno G now?
Well, I mean, the question. In fact, let me just read out these chats, man, before we go into that next question.
I have got
ALX,
to jump in a minute. I do apologize.
Yeah, no worries, Bo. You know, ALX says transfers as soon as possible. Other teams are getting stronger. Says ALX. Big up to Luke as well, who gave us that information before on the injury. Big up to you, bro. Big up for becoming a member. Harambot says our season is derailed, lads. Season is done. GG, lads. At least we made friends and memories along the way. The trophies don't matter, says Harambot.
City we're moving anyway. I think
Okay. Well, let's speak about this before you go, Mike, because I know you got to go, right? Do you think that if maybe you thought City were going to make signings anyway, but do you think now this puts a real sort of pressure on City to get some transfers in? Let's say it's a 3-month injury. Do you think City needs to go back into the market if it's a 3-month injury?
I think City always were. I said it yesterday and the day before. I think they'll sign 1, and now I think they'll definitely buy 2. I always thought it'd be 1 or 2, and I know from what I've heard, I couldn't go for what I heard. They always say reportedly that they are trying to sign 1 or 2.
Well, that's the news that we got the other day, wasn't it, off The Athletic and Ben Ransom today from Sky Sports News. Discussed it this morning. 2 separate journalists came out within the last 24 hours and both have said City are in the market for 2 players.
I got told one's a mid, one's a winger, or one's someone who can play wing, and they both will be money.
What, big money?
Yeah, both.
Yeah, Martin, you were right, by the way. Simon Stone, big up to DevDot in the chat. Manchester City midfielder Oscar Bobb fractured a bone in his leg in a non-contact situation during training earlier today. He was turning. Extent of the injury is still clear, so it was exactly how you sort of imagined it to be, bro. You were right.
Bro, I know, because I've done it. When I was younger, when I was younger and I wasn't fat, I did play football. But yeah, It's not nice.
But
That's
yeah,
a freak injury. I mean, the chances of that happening is
this is from
almost
the
zero, man.
This is from the Norway manager. I don't know if this is true, but Bringer's just literally just whacked it on the screen. There was an incident at training today, which unfortunately has not ended well for Oscar, awaiting a final report, but everything points to a longer injury absence from the national team manager. This is from Bringer. I don't know where you got that from, bro, but hopefully it's not right, because if it's right, then that's bad. But that to me sounds like that's the season. If you longer term absence, I don't think you say that unless you think it's going to be the full.
And
full
by the way,
season.
can I just say before I do jump, we don't know he's going to come back. We're hoping he's coming back. 100% thing, but listen, I can name you 10 players who've not come back the same after long-term injuries. I'm just praying he does. That's what I'm saying. I think for now, we just let him go to Barcelona, get what he needs to do, and he comes back at the right time for him. And I remember this. Remember Sane after his ACL was never the same Sane ever.
Yeah.
True. Mendes never the same again. Van Dijk never the same again. Laporte, some say, were never the same again. Because we don't know how Oscar Bobb's mentality is, because that can also freak a human being out at the same time, because you're like, oh, I'm not going to do that turn again. The last time I did that turn, oh, look what happened. And the mind can play real weird shit on you to where you don't want to do it, and you get a bit scared. And I think we've just got to support him, look after him, and let him come back at his speed and his recovery. But to answer you, I do think we'll get two. I do think we'll get two signings in.
All right, I know you got to go, Martin. Big up for jumping on, bro.
I've only got to go because I've got to tell my parents, and then I've got a show at 9. So
no worries, bro. No worries, man. Big up to you.
Take care, all. Thank you all.
It's all right. So I want to ask a question then. Obviously, we know the news now. And guys, keep letting me know in the chat if any tweets come through you want me to show on screen. Keep letting me know. Keep letting me know. What do you think then, in terms of the transfer market then? I personally believe if this is a full season injury, you know how I've been saying that I don't think that we need to get an attacker. I think if Oscar Bobb is out for the season, I think my mind changes now. I do think that without Oscar Bobb, I do think that City should consider going in for an attacker, because I think now we become light. Previously, I've said that we've got Kevin De Bruyne, we've got Phil Foden as the attacking mids, and you've got Oscar Bobb and James McAtee, and I felt that was enough. Now that Oscar Bobb has dropped out of there, if it is a full season, my personal opinion is that you need to go and get someone else. I don't think you can go into the season as your only 3 attacking players as Kevin De Bruyne, Phil Foden and McAtee. And the reason I say that is because Kevin De Bruyne will also get injured this season. We know that's going to happen. Right? We all know that's going to happen at some point, man. Yeah, he's going to get a hamstrings injury at some point, most likely. That'll leave us with Phil Foden and McAtee. Is that enough? I don't personally think it is with the amount of games that we've got. So I'm saying, if it's me, I think City needs to go back into the market.
I think it's a difficult one, because we must also remember that Bobb at some point will come back to the squad. And if we are getting another winger type like player, then I think we'll be too crowded on the wings. So for me, it's very much depending on how long he will be out. I do maybe, if we should go for someone, I saw someone in the chat mention Kudos as like he can play like a 9. I've seen that a few times. He can play right and left. Exciting player, but I think it's a difficult one. But I really think we should get a hybrid 6 and 8 now, so we can let Bernardo play more out wide instead of. I think maybe we could manage without getting a replacement for Bobb if it's only like, let's say, 5 months or something. But then we need a 6 or 8 who can play regularly, so we have Bernardo on the right as well.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, I just think that like the Bruno G deal just looks like more and more like needed every day that we go by now, because like if we have Bruno G now, you could set up with Rodri, Bruno G, Foden, Rodri, Bruno G, KDB, and basically you can just go through the season without playing Foden and KDB together, which means obviously the chances of them both being injured at the same time is lessened, because that's the problem here. You know, even with Oscar Bobb, even if he's out for the season, we probably have just enough players in that attacking position where it's not an issue. It only becomes an issue, when one of them gets injured. Because even now we've got Foden, Kevin De Bruyne, and McAtee as our three creators. That's fine. The problem is, as soon as one of those players gets injured, we are thin. We are seriously thin. And if it's Foden or Kevin De Bruyne, then you're putting a lot of faith and a lot of trust in James McAtee, which I know some people are happy to do. I know, obviously, I was speaking to Joe. Joe was on the channel. Joe Butterfield was on the channel the other day. He was telling me that, I don't know, man. It's just frustrating.
What about Echeverry? Does he come in January?
That's a great point. That's a great point. Someone that I keep forgetting about. He is due to join Manchester City in January.
What does he play? Is it
attacking midfield?
Yeah,
but that would be a 10, not an 8. It would be
no, but you don't need him to play 8. You can put him in the 10. That's fine.
Can he play a wing?
But is he ready?
That's
the other question.
Yeah,
well, if we're not getting anyone, bro, he's going to have to be ready.
Yeah, true.
And it won't be starting every week. And at that point, that will be January, right? So at that point, hopefully, Bobb will be back in some capacity.
Yeah.
I
think we just have to wait and see for the news to see what the extent is before we kind of start assuming and, kind of hypothesizing like what we want to see.
Yeah.
Because, if it's 3 months, I'm sure, obviously, like Martin said, there'll be 2 signings that we go in for anyway. But if it's longer than kind of 3 to 6 or 3 to 5, as I've seen some reports saying, if it's any longer than that, then City will have to kind of look at it.
Oh,
but if it's 3 months, then it's
breaking news, bro. Sorry, Luke. Really sorry, mate, for interrupting. No. This is big breaking news.
Is that as serious?
Simon Mullock. Is he called Simon Mullock from the Mirror? It says the initial. Says what? The picture.
Look at the photo.
I don't know. I didn't see it.
Sorry.
Why can't I see it, bro? I can't.
It was the little child one.
Oh, it's probably his kid, bro. It's probably his kid.
Yeah, but I thought that was the journalist for a second.
All right. Yeah, he's saying the initial hope inside Manchester City is that Oscar Bobb's injury is not as serious as first heard. And I'll just tell you now that I've just been messaged off a very, very good source who said it's true, but apparently not super serious. Ooh. So, listen, we're getting different information here. Some people are telling us it could be out for the season. Some people are telling us that. I said this at the start of the stream. Unfortunately, we're not probably going to get an outcome on this until he's had the scan. He's going to get the scan tomorrow in Barcelona. Once we've had the scan, we'll get the news, and then we'll find out. But something's happened. Obviously, he's broken. He's fractured something. Some people are saying it's serious. He could be out for the season. Some people are saying it's not super serious. It's not that bad, and it's he could be back in a couple of months. So. I don't know. It's one of those. Unfortunately, we're not going to know, guys. We're not going to know until tomorrow.
Yeah. How many months would you say is the maximum he could be out for before returning, like fully fit? Before you would get a replacement?
I think if he's back by December, I'd leave it. I'd probably leave it.
Yeah, do
3 months, kind of 3 months,
like a Kevin De Bruyne kind of
yeah. Because as well, then, bro, what you can do is as well. I think you can get to January the 1st with Foden, Kevin De Bruyne, McAtee, Kovacic, Nunes, right? In my opinion, you can do that, and of course, you can play Jack Grealish in the middle, which a lot of people in this chat always say play Jack Grealish in the middle.
Yeah,
and as well, if that's the news that comes back tomorrow that he's going to be back by January the 1st or whatever. If you get to January 1st and actually he ain't going to be back to March, April, May, then you can do something potentially in the January transfer window, or you can assess Claudio Echeverry, which obviously you mentioned before. I think
I'm seeing different things now as well about the actual extent of the injury.
What are you seeing?
Can I share my screen?
Yeah, share your screen, bro. I'll put it up on screen.
Get well soon, Oscar Bobb. Definitely broken leg, but only out for a few months. Collision with Bernardo caused it, but not Bernardo's fault.
Yeah, there's a couple of people who are saying that actually it wasn't a no contact injury. Bernardo, but listen, it's not Bernardo's fault. Yeah, let's not start blaming.
No.
Yeah, I know what some of you guys are like in the chat, man.
But until Friday, I think we won't know any extent until Pep comes out and says he's gone to Barcelona. They've told us this. Because we know how quick turnaround it is in Barcelona. It's not a case of, like the NHS in the UK where you're waiting kind of 6-7 hours for a result. no shade on NHS workers. I've got family who work in the NHS, but that'll be done there and then. So we'll know the news straight away once it's out, and the club will probably start to tell people what the extent is. But thankfully, if people are coming out saying it's not as serious as first thought, of course, like I said, they're going to have to do precautions to kind of expect the worst in these scenarios. But if it's coming out now that it's better than first thought, that's good news as well.
Yeah. Listen, big up, Luke. I know you have to dip, bro. Cheers for jumping on.
Anytime. See you later, lads. Take care.
Yeah.
Take
Big
care,
up to
Luke.
you. Big
Bye.
up to you. Let's have a look. Some of more of your comments, guys. Big up to everyone that's locked in today. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. We are less than 900 subscribers away from 20k, man. So listen, we're coming for that 20k subscriber milestone. Please make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Please make sure you are smashing a like on the stream, guys. There's over 900 people tuned in. We're not even at 300 likes, guys. So please hit that thumbs up button. Come on, 900 people. Hit that thumbs up button for me. Make sure you subscribe to Size Locker Room as well. We'll get that linked in the description in a second. I'm going to go through some of these super chats for you guys. Let me know what you guys are saying. No, I'm not going to do I was going to do a watch along, bro, but I need to buy a cable because there's no point in me explaining, but I need to buy a cable. The cable's coming tomorrow, so I should be chill for the Chelsea game. Bermuda says Oscar Bobb is very young and should heal well. Says Bermuda Guna. Big up to you, bro. Yeah, hopefully, man. Hopefully. Bob needs to drink more milk to get that calcium, says LB. I'm lacto, bro. I can't drink milk, innit? I'm on almond milk. Big up the panel. So sad for Bob. Bruno is even bigger must now. There was reports on him today. Who's the attacker we are linked to other than Eze? Yeah, listen, I think Bruno G becomes sort of more of a sort of, we could really do with him. There have been some more links to Rodrigo at Real Madrid. But I'd be surprised if we go for Rodrigo unless he's been told that his minutes are going to seriously drop this year. If he's been told his minutes are going to seriously drop.
He's starting tonight.
He's starting, is he?
Yeah, on the right.
Right,
okay. Bobb in the front and Vinicius on the left.
Okay. Big up MCFC. Osmodi says, look up high ankle sprain. Happens in American football a lot. They can come with a bone break. It's 4 to 5 months. That would be the guess, says Osmodius. Yeah, I mean, based off what people are now saying, that they don't reckon it's as bad as first thought, I would now imagine we're in that sort of 3 to 5 month range. But again, until we get that full diagnosis, I don't fully know. LB, do you think we'll sign someone now? My opinion now, is that I think we probably will. My views on our transfer activity is that I didn't think we'd sign anyone. But now this has happened, and given the high and more important role that I think Oscar Bobb was due to play in the team, my opinion is that yes, I think that we'll end up signing someone who I don't know. A lot of people are saying could be Eze. I don't know, but I do think that now probably we will sign someone. Let's have a look. We've got some more. Do we read out this before? I don't know if we read out this before. Maybe it's slightly different. This is the Norwegian manager. What I can say is that I have spoken to Mario, Manchester City first team sport therapist, who can confirm that there's probably an injury of a certain extent, but I can't say anything more for now. So yeah, it's serious, isn't it? Because otherwise he wouldn't have, if he just had a little bit of a knock or whatever, is the first team sport therapist going to get straight on the phone to the national team manager? Probably not. So I'd imagine that we know it's serious. So yeah, there we go. Big up Pitbull for letting me know about that. Crazy scenes, bro. Let's see what City do react now in the transfer market. Listen, I think if it was me, if I was City now, I'd wait till tomorrow, see what the scan says, and then depending on what that says and depending on what Kugat says on the length of time that he's going to be out, then make the decision. If it's 3 to 4 months, I could imagine that they might potentially not sign anyone because I think they'll think they can get to January with Kevin De Bruyne, Phil Foden and James McAtee and Jack Grealish, who can play in the middle as well. If it's longer term, i.e. looking like pretty much most of the season, I think that you should probably consider making a signing.
Well, what I want, something I just don't want to happen is us doing like a Nunes kind of deal again, like a panic buy. I'd rather not replacing or buying someone for Bobb, but instead, spend the money on the 8/6 as we clearly need. and then I think we'll be good. Even though it might be 3 or 5 months, I think. I don't want us to go out to buy anyone because Bobb will be back at some point, and then we have so many wingers and attackers. And also remember, Foden can still play on the right, on the left if needed. So I just think to cope with this best, we should just get the 6/8 hybrid.
Like Bruno.
Like Bruno, yeah. I don't think we actually need to go out and get unless the perfect deal like present itself for the perfect player. Then I think we can manage with just getting like a Bruno kind of player.
Yeah. 1 sec, guys. Let me just add my new camera in.
Oh, he said, but it's not a serious break. Okay, that's good, bro. And hopefully we'll be back.
Yeah. Sorry. This is the latest news that's coming out from Sam Lee. Oscar Bobb fractured his leg today during training, but it's not a serious break. City are hopeful he'll be back by the end of 2024. Full extent yet to be confirmed, but terrible luck for him ahead of the new season. If that's true, and we reckon he's going to be back by the end of the calendar year, I don't expect us to go back into the market.
So that's 3 to 5 months, right? So, but a bad break would then be a serious break would be a full season. That's kind of what they're saying, right? So, because they're still saying, in the end of 2024, which is still almost half the season. So it's good news, but it's still a long time, man.
No, it is. Listen, I'm going to read out these last super chats and then we'll wrap it up. Big up to Haram. Says, for people saying we should get Rodrigo, it's never going to happen. Rodrigo likes Real Madrid too much and he doesn't rate us as a club. He would join. Well, he did say Manchester City are one of the best clubs in the world, but I don't think he'll leave unless Real Madrid tell him that he's going to not be playing this year, and I don't think they're going to do that because he's so good. So I don't see it. I'd like him, but I don't think it's going to happen. Tim says there's term depends on type of leg fractures, spiral. Exactly. All depends on what happens, man. All depends on what happens. Big up to Tinsay. Big up to the rest of you guys. Big up to Sai. Big up to Martin. Big up to Luke. And big up to you guys for joining. Smash a like. Subscribe to the channel. Get well soon, Oscar Bobb. And we'll catch you in the next one. See you later, people.